What's up, guys? It's Will here, back again for another episode of Collectors Mingle. We're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff tonight. The Obi-Wan that has taken the collecting world by storm in a not so great way. You know, William H. Macy, Jeff Bridges. You've probably heard all the names thrown out there. We're going to talk about the Iron Man Battle Damage Mark 6 quarter scale, not 6 scale like I originally thought. We'll talk about the Wolverine, the Amazing Spider-Man. What's the best deal that collectors have scored this year? And of course, what everyone probably is here for, the Arena Boba Fett giveaway from Carlos himself. So all of that right around the corner.
Boop.
Yo, what'd you say?
Nothing.
Oh yeah, I thought that might be you. I thought it was either you or Carlos.
Nah, that was mine.
Optical's here, so I mean, it could just be optical. You know,
No,
saying
that was mine.
tonight. You know, that's what he does. So, guys, thanks so much for joining. We got an Avengers level panel here tonight, and of course, I want to introduce these guys before I address the chat, and then we'll go into all the topics. I will say before we get into anything, the Arena Boba Fett giveaway will be a little bit later on in the show, but could just show up any random time. I guess we'll figure out when I can.
We gonna make y'all wait.
But we are gonna spin a wheel. No. What'd you say, Anthony?
I said, was that Cam?
I know, right? It sounded like Lael's channeling his inner Cam's collect. Mr.
He's channeling it.
Yeah, but we're going to spin the wheel a little bit later for our 10 favorite comments picked by Carlos and reviewed by Lael and I. So we made sure that Carlos didn't try any funny business. So, you know, we peer reviewed him, if you will. So we're going to have some fun with that. But before we get into all our topics and the chat and all that, Anthony, so good to have you here, bro, because you and I, we could never link up a meeting of the minds until now.
It never, it's well, every Sunday was like, dude, and then every Saturday you're like, oh,
Yeah, I'm just like,
you know, I know. It's good. It's good to be here, man. Be a cool stream tonight, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining, bro. And like I said, every time you have that display setup, you make me a little bit jealous with that RGB, alternating light setup. So
you can do it too, man.
I know, but I'm too lazy. So
see,
I used command strips today, Anthony, like I told you, and that was lazy. And then the picture fell. So
yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I even have like those displate metal kind of photos, and they come with magnets, and those don't even work. So
yes, I had one of those too, and it held for like a couple months, and it fell.
Yeah, so I just put a nail right through the magnet and just nail it into the wall. Because that's what it was doing. It was coming off the wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the other side of the magnet's fine. It's going to hold and then that's kind of like an anchor. So, yeah.
Well,
anyway.
There we go. But it's funny. Optical. Love the username, bro. I just now noticed. I don't know if you just did it, but it's a pretty apt username. I feel like Carlos is banned from like every major retailer.
Pretty much. Yeah. So that's the next giveaway. If somebody can name a place that Carlos isn't banned on. So.
Hey, Toys Wonderland will always have me.
Yeah, sure. Toys Wonderland will always sell to you, Carlos. Optical, how you doing, man? It's been a while.
Man, happy to be here. I'm just here for the giveaway, really. Since we announced the giveaway, I am out.
After the giveaway, peace. Baby.
After the giveaway, I am just gonna bounce out of here. So, yep. The rig is on, ladies and gentlemen. So
that's why you're here.
Home cooking.
I know, right? Happy to have you, bro. And Lael, the 1/6 scale man himself, aka Orange Juice Slim. You're gonna have to explain that one to me because I missed that. But how you doing, man?
I'm good. I just want to let everybody else know that this type of giveaway will never the fuck happen on my channel ever again. I just want you to know that it'll never happen. I mean, it's blasphemy, first of all. And then the motherfucker had the nerve to actually message me and say, hey, pick your top 10. I was like, fuck no, I'm not picking none of them. I don't care. I'm not picking anybody because it's blasphemy to y'all to talk about Star Wars. Nah, hell no. So yes, it's the very last time anything like this happens on my channel. As a matter of fact, everybody who answered the question, you're getting banned.
Including Riley.
Including Riley. Now I'm just playing, man. Good to be here, man. Good luck to the winner. I know y'all really don't hate Star Wars. You're just trying to win this piece. And good luck to you. I hope you do. And then after you're done, tell Carlos how you really feel. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll change the winner if they won and they comment something and say if they lied, then we change the winner. That's what we do, right, Carlos?
The what?
I said if someone like if we spin the wheel and then the winner wins and like, oh, I made everything up, then we cut them out and we respin and then we put all our own names in there.
I won't have to say shit if that's the case.
But yeah, thanks for joining, Layout. Happy to have you, bro. As always, you know, one of my best bros. All you guys seriously are. Avengers level panel. Carlos, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I wanted to this time around bring out my kitchen and
demonetized immediately.
So there you go.
RGB light to that.
I know, right? Put an RGB light on that. What's that pan, dude? Is that a die-cast pan?
No, it's called Le Creuset, but yeah, it's like a cast iron.
Top tier collection, dude.
There you go, man. No, really good. I'm excited to see who ends up winning this because yeah, it'll be fun to see in the comments. Are we still showcasing the comments or no?
See, I thought about it, but probably not because they're all like really long. It's gonna take a lot of time.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
So I'm gonna say people read the best comments on Layout's channel on that.
Nah,
video.
don't send them over there. No,
try to get you more views. Anyway, but Carlos, thanks for joining, and thanks so much to Carlos and Lael for this giveaway. You know, Carlos sponsored Lael. You know, we did it on both of our channons. So, dude, that's awesome collaboration.
But you know what's funny though?
Yeah,
the funniest shit, and I keep telling this story, Mafia. I don't know if you're here when I told it. I know. As a matter of fact, you were here. Optical. When Carlos made the announcement that he was going to do this shit, literally he sent me the message. It was about maybe 5 minutes. He sent me the message. Within 5 to 6 minutes, Will had already posted this shit.
Yeah, bro.
It was quick. He did it so quick. I'm like, damn, tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, bro, because I told you the layout. Carlos messaged me. I'm very task oriented, and like Carlos messaged me, he was like, you got to promote it. And I was like, all right, fine. So I did it in like 5 seconds. And just posted it. I just wanted to get it done because I knew Carlos would message me again if I forgot. So.
And I was asking Layout, I was like, hey, yeah, you know, pick your top 10. He's like,
nope.
I picked my top 10. Yeah.
And then I was like, so is this a no? Is this a hard no?
Yeah. Tell you, man. No. A hard no.
At least he didn't even ask me. He already knew the answer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not participating in this one.
Yeah.
Nah, it was all in fun though, because it was good to see. But here's the thing. As much as I hate it, right? When I'm reading through the comments though, some of them were like almost damn near accurate. Like some of them were really, really, you know what I mean? Like if you think about it, as much as I love Star Wars, you can't deny like some of the comments, and they were like really spot on. So come on, Lucas, step your game up. Like literally, you got to step it up.
It's true. Zach made a good comment. Insult Star Wars to get Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty much what happened.
Exactly.
So guys, let's address
shit to get shit. Exactly.
Pretty much. Let's address the chat real quick before we jump into our first topic, because we got a lot of comments to get to. Xander, hey all, what's up, Xander? How you doing, man? SpongeBob Square Balls. Good day, one and all. SpongeBob, good to see you. Boba Vet, ready to get down with another great show. Thanks so much. Dalton Pierce, hi everyone. Hey Dalton, love that avatar by the way. Very Homelander, but like neon tech almost. Bob Darcy, hello everyone. Feezy's Figures, what did you crew? Let's mingle indeed. Chris K, looking forward to this, as are we. Chris K, Jazzy, let's go. Ebu, Mr. Ebu 127, how's everyone doing? This is going to be a great show. It is indeed, because we have an Avengers level panel. Otaku Samurai, hello. MB Dyson, there's a fox in the hen house. Oh dude, that should have been like my, I don't know, channel tag or something. That's pretty cool. MB Dyson, Collectors Assemble. Josh McCoy said, Will, I need your expert advice. The Queen, Carlos is looking at this actually. The Queen Hawkbuster 1.4, it's going to be about $4,300 ship, and the statue weighs 200 pounds. Do you think it's worth it? I don't think so, but.
It's like $3,300, so it's $1,000 to ship it?
It must be massive.
Well, no, it's basically the size of a half scale, right? So.
I was thinking it would be bigger than that.
I was thinking, no, it was like 44 already.
Oh, that's about Sauron size then. Yeah, $1,000 seems like a lot to ship that.
Yeah, because I was thinking of buying this, but after this, I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy it.
I would think maybe like $500 to ship it.
Yeah,
like that.
because my half scale Iron Man was $300 to ship it. Well, it was $500, but then I got some refund on that because it was only $300. So
yeah, well. Anyway, Jan Michael Jameer, aloha guys. Charles Rubble, greetings everyone. Dinesh in the house, Mr. Dinesh. Bruce Liam, fantastic Mr. Fox and company. It's time for a Scorpion style figure fatality mingling. Yeah, dude, for real, man. We're gonna talk about that. Bob Darcy, hey, what's up, Bob? Fig Fate, what's going on, everyone? What's up, Fig Fate? DT Thompson, this is where the fun begins. Rome Moreno, my fellow statue brethren, what is up? Red 5 standing by, indeed. AJ Agarusa, hello friends, hope all is well. Christian Lopez, hello Christian. Dustin Sybrandt. Dustin, hopefully I'm not butchering your name, but welcome. Ant-Man said, William, it's been a while. It has. It's been like a week, so, it's been a little bit. Ren's talking to the artist. Ren's, Leo, I didn't show you this yet, but I had, like I was telling Anthony, I had the Kratos picture framed right over there on the wall, and I used the command strips, and I showed Ren's, I was like, dude, it looks beautiful right there. Got it all nice and even level, and that bitch fell down. So, it's fine, though, luckily. It didn't break. Cool. But I will be hanging it the traditional way. So that's all I can say. Ren's, your artwork will be up soon. That's all I can say.
Yes,
Docinator, Big Willie style, The Ben Thomas Show. Hey, everyone. 16 Jedi, what's up? Caffeinated Comic Fan. Hey, all. Sean Bean himself. Let's see. Good to know about Displate. Yeah, I would skip on Displate myself, Zach. Let's see. Blitz 0065. Hello. Rome Reno said no statue in the background this time, Carlos. Just the diecast pans. Collector Chris wants the giveaway. I know we're gonna get to it. What is good, everyone? CT603. What up, panel? DT Artman. Paul Su from Taiwan. What a handsome panel. Thank you, Paul. That's very nice of you. What's happening, people? Text boys. Let's see. Earth 616 Collector. Good evening, everyone. Linda, president of the Pennywise fan club, is in the house. Read the 10 best comments later. We probably will. 16 Jedi. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But what is Le Crusette? Is that the pans, Carlos? Is that what she's Mr. Ibu is talking about here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not the pan expert. We'll have to ask Carlos on that one. What's up, guys? This is what you call an Avengers Level panel. Riley, thanks so much, bro. Appreciate it, man. Riley, the ladies' man himself in the house. The Bear, are you guys European? No, we are not. Let's see. Nicole, I'd love to see Optical repping Minions too. Well,
hey.
I don't know why
or
there's a banana
there.
Hey, not above an endorsement opportunity. Let's see. Adrian Aguirre. Let's go, Adrian. Let's see. Professor Mario, the man himself, beard guy. What's going on, everyone? Collectible chats. Great panel tonight. Let's get it. Absolutely. Boba Vet. Calvin Williams II. Pedro said, what's up, Will? I hope you change your mind. Pick up the Wolverine. Dude, we'll see, Pedro. We're gonna talk about it tonight. We're gonna talk about it. Nick's Collectibles. I think it's the last one. Hello. All right, guys. A lot of comments to get to there. I'm glad we got through that. But let's go ahead and address our first topic. I want to talk about this amazing Spider-Man figure because I think it's, got a lot of people excited, right? This is the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, labeled Amazing Spider-Man 2, interestingly enough, for probably licensing reasons. Maybe the license was cheaper. That's everyone's best theory at this point, running theory. So I actually want to start with Optical on this one because Optical, I know you reviewed the original one. Doesn't it have like 1 million views or something like that?
I reviewed it twice. It was so nice. I reviewed it twice. But
Are you going to get this one? Are you going to triple dip?
yeah, I'm going to triple dip. That's what I do. But
okay. Yeah. Oh my God. This is what you have. Optical, can you give me your thoughts on this figure? I want to ask how the proto specifically turned out. Like, are you happy with the head sculpt? Are you happy with the figure overall? What are your thoughts on it?
It looks exactly what I have. It does. And I was just like, that is 7 years old. I'm not gonna flame Hot Toys too much for that because we've seen Fat Man from when what do you call that? The Batman versus Superman, when he was like Fat Man, he has no abs, and people were flaming Hot Toys because the body was just off. This is okay for 2015, 2014. I still believe they're gonna change the body because we've seen this before. So I'm not gonna panic over this. Even the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks, again, the same with a better paint application. It's not necessarily bad, but it feels like the entire, release announcement is a bit dated. But again, I'm not going to panic. Am I going to get this? Of course, yeah. I sold mine. I knew this was coming, so sold mine. I'm a bit concerned because the head sculpt, the mask one, it does not have the stitch on the front. So the old one has the stitch on the front, which there's like a glue that turns dark. This one does not. So I'd be like, at first I was kind of like, no, they're gonna change this. I didn't see the stitching on the front, and I was just like, is this what I'm getting? Kind of like thing. But I'm still hoping because it's not bad. He's slender and all that stuff. But the body, if you own the first one, it feels like a Hot Toys from 2015. And now if we want a little bit more heroic stance, wider shoulders and all that stuff. It's not bad. They also removed that. If you own the first one, the hands were magnetized. It's like this weird thing that they did, and this one is not. So if they just give us the old body, I guess it's fine because a lot of people wanted this figure. but it's kind of like a shortcut from Hot Toys if they ever do that, because I just feel like it needed the upgrade to the 2022 Hot Toys. I mean, just use one of the Spider-Man PS4 bodies. I'll be fine with that. But it doesn't come with anything, because the first one has a backpack, a bullhorn, and fine, that was from Amazing Spider-Man 2. So is this, technically. So we want to be technical. This is Amazing Spider-Man 2, because they said it's not from No Way Home. It's bare bones, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, this is a good opportunity for everyone who wants to complete their No Way Home lineup for cheap, because this one was going on for a lot of money, like in the secondary market. Plus, that one has issues. Like the glues are being unglued. You see spots on the suit all over the place, because it's showing its age. That's why I'm confident that they are going to change this. That this is not the final product that we're seeing. It's just weird that all the upgrades are already in place, like the hands and the stitching, if it's not the right one. So, but with that being said, I'm still going to get this. I have to.
Yeah, and you're right. It is pretty bare bones, but I guess how much more would you need? I guess, but it's pretty cool. I do like it overall. I think the proto, when I saw JC Hong's photo, I was like, oh, okay, that looks pretty good. It's just the blogger photos, I guess you could say, or the promotional images are, I don't know, just a little bit questionable to me. Not terrible, but I think you're right. Optical, it looks pretty similar, right, to the old one. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah,
but
even the portrait looks kind of grainy, like it's Photoshop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's not high res. Like if they took the picture, did some Photoshop manipulation and all that stuff. Like normally they don't produce photos like this. It's like normally high res, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like this is not the one that we're gonna get.
Yeah,
and that's
I think it'll be better. But anyway, I'm gonna jump to Anthony on this one. Anthony, bro, I know you sold a lot of your Marvel stuff. You seem to be a dedicated, monogamous Star Wars man now. How are you feeling about this, Andrew here?
Well, I mean, I agree with Optical in that sense. Like the photo is all like low res. I know it's like some little nitpick, but it is to a point. Like I don't think this is probably going to be, this is going to get changed, right? Because that is weird. I was like, oh, okay, because it basically is the old figure. I mean, which is fine, and this is good for people, who missed out, right? And like Optical was saying, like if you're wanting to have that whole No Way Home line, everybody saw this coming anyway. You know what I mean? Like this is the natural course of the movie made $2 billion plus. They're re-releasing it too. Did you guys know about that? Like in the theater next month? Yeah, for another like 17 minutes of footage they cut. They're just gonna put it back in the theater again. So, I mean, it's a home run for Sony and Marvel, and obviously for Hot Toys. So, and again, these photos, it doesn't look bad by any stretch. I'm glad that it doesn't have any accessories, because this is more of like, I don't want to take away from the Amazing Spider-Man movie line, but this is kind of more of a almost an accessory to your No Way Home line. You know what I'm saying? It's going to complement versus like a big standalone figure. And no, I think it looks good. I don't know what the price is though. I don't know if they released the price overseas yet or not. I haven't been paying attention to it, but no accessories. I mean, he can't be that expensive. And again, it's a good opportunity for people that missed it, the others, you know what I mean, and can get this now. So it's not bad. It's not horrible, but it's not like amazing. I think it's a good release. That makes sense. I
think I'm with you. And then if I had to guess like what it's going to be in the States, probably like $285, $290, something like that,
I would hope cheaper, but
yeah, I would hope so too. But man, with these prices, how they're going now, it's like,
I know. We don't even
I like
know
to
anymore.
overshoot rather than overestimate rather than under. Then I'm like, oh, I'm pleasantly surprised.
I get that.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Leo, I want to ask you, man, with this, Andrew figure here from Amazing Spider-Man 2, technically, how are you feeling about it? Do you think the proto came out good? Is this something you're going to pick up?
I think the proto came out pretty well. I mean, I think to me, I see Andrew the whole way through. You know what I mean? I basically see Andrew Garfield. I mean, is it low res? Yes. But I mean, I really don't rely on, the early production photos in general and period the earlier prototype photos until we get those production photos. Because that's when I can normally tell they put more into it. We get an idea of what this figure is going to really, really be. But for what they're showing us right now, I mean, I've fallen probably the majority of ones who kind of missed out on this the first time around, so to have it, as a release, and they're, again, they're still doing it under the Amazing Spider-Man moniker right there instead of No Way Home. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it. I like I said, I didn't have the original. I'm thinking there's going to be some advancements, especially considering the simple fact that we have this whole No Way Home line, and with those figures, they've been a bit more dynamic. Again, like I said, when I looked at this, I can definitely tell there was no articulation or toe articulation here, but it looks like we make it more. There's a possibility that they could actually upgrade that and give us something better. I hope that they do if they're smart enough. Don't just go back and give us the past rendition and with no updates. But I like the suit. I like the head sculpt. Just have to wait and see, more towards the time when it's ready to come, and when we get that actual announcement or production release announcement. Then yeah, all over it. It is, again, we talked about this earlier on Collectors Lounge, how it not coming with that lizard base was kind of a smart move, because for those who don't really want that base, you don't have to have it. You can have just this particular figure without the base. If you do want to add that base later on, you definitely can, if you want that as a diorama piece, so you're not forced into getting it. So that's a bonus right there. I mean, to those, and I know a lot of people, there'll be some people that probably pick up that base, but all in all, like I said, I like it. I think it's a solid release. I mean, a solid reveal as far as the head sculpt. I mean, I'm not a really nitpicky person, you know what I mean? So I don't nitpick a lot, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I give the artist a fair go, and once the production photos drop, then I'm good. It's not like I'm going to have him, without his mask the entire time anyway. I never really do that with my figures. Like, unless it serves its purpose for the display, or if there's an idea or a vision that I'm going for that requires to have that head sculpt, then I'll do that. But other than that, yeah, I probably won't use it. I mean, the suit itself speaks for itself. So yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy with the reveal. I know Riley is. A couple people out there who have actually been waiting for this for the longest time. You can now revel in the fact that you got it. It's on its way, and yeah, definitely once this release, I'll have it. It's Spider-Man, so I can't pass up.
Well, and the sculpt is good too.
Yeah, the sculpt is good.
You know that it's him. You know what I mean? It's not.
It's Andrew Garfield.
Yeah,
you can look
terrible,
at it and tell that it's basically Andrew Garfield. So, again, I mean, I did see the original version, that one versus this one. This one looks a bit more matured, a bit. So, you know what I mean? Again, definitely excited about it once it drops. I'll get it. But yeah, I got faith in what they can do and what they'll pull off.
Yeah. I hope so too, man. I hope so too. So Carlos, fill us in, man. Drop some wisdom on us like you always do about this Spider-Man. What are you thinking about it? How you feel? Is this something you're going to pick up? What are your thoughts?
So I've never had the original one, so I couldn't compare them. Right. But when I saw the photos of Toby compared to this, it looks like the Toby suit is a lot more advanced and it looks a lot nicer than this one.
It does.
Based on what I've seen on the photos, a few people have told me some of the inaccuracies with it. I mean, I wasn't the biggest Amazing Spider-Man fan, so I really couldn't tell. To me, it looks good, but based on what I've heard now that, the body's the same, the head sculpt is the same, I'm assuming they're going to improve it, but it's kind of a letdown, right? I mean, if they're reusing the whole body, if they're reusing the head sculpt, they're just improving essentially some of the materials, then yeah, I mean, it would be a letdown. As far as the sculpt, I don't think it looks very good, honestly. Are they going to improve it? Probably, right? Because they usually do. But based on what I'm seeing, I think the head sculpt is like a 7.5 or an 8. I don't think it looks that great, to be honest. I don't know if they are using the old head sculpt, it makes sense because the old one was pretty trashy. So I would understand why, right? Because obviously it was an old figure, so it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm going to pick it up, I mean, I am eventually, like if it hits like really low on Toys Wonderland or someone buys it and I don't know, maybe that's something I'll probably end up picking up if it's really low. Definitely not a retail or something I will pre-order. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, yeah, man, I don't think the head sculpt looks really good. I think the photo that was posted on Instagram is the best version that I've seen so far. Based on these photos, yeah, I wouldn't say this sculpt looks pretty good at all. So not as bad as Kenobi, but
well, I guess we'll find out, dude. I think they're gonna update these things. So I mean, like I said, I like to give Hot Toys the benefit of the doubt on this one. And you know, if they don't, then I don't think it's terrible though. I really don't think the sculpt is bad.
No.
I think it's good. I think it's good. You know, I just, you know, maybe it's not a 10, but it's definitely not bad in my opinion. Like I think it's good.
And you know, like Leal said, this is one of those figures that I probably would never put a head sculpt on. I would just leave it some mask
Yeah,
on.
right.
You know, so I don't care too much about it, and I'm not one to really, when I was doing 1/6, like switch them out consistently anyway. I just wouldn't do that. So it doesn't really bother me, but you know, I guess if it bothers someone, but
yeah. You do raise an interesting point though about the Toby suit, which we're going to talk about because that does look more like advanced and new.
Right.
And that
It looks
the other
nice.
one does look like sort of a remake figure. Yeah. But we need to talk about the elephant in the room a little bit because this is something I think with the Kenobi sculpt that I wanted to show. We'll show like the official promo photos in a sec, but Hot Toys had released some photos from, you know, the summer showcase that they were showing these figures, and this is the head sculpt they had shown, right? And this one's been a little bit controversial just because of, you know, what people deem to be, some deem to be an okay, good head sculpt, some deem low quality. It just depends on who you ask. But for me, I'm not exactly feeling it. I know kind of what they're going for. I don't think it's a 0. Like, I don't think it's, you know, doesn't look like him at all, but I have a hard time seeing Ewan McGregor in here. So I want to get everyone's opinion on this and see if they feel like improvements are needed. Would they be happy with the way it is? So I'll start actually with Anthony on this one. So Anthony, with this Obi-Wan sculpt, dude, fill me in on your thoughts. Like, are you feeling like improvements are needed? Do you think it's good how it is? What do you think overall?
No, I think the topic is apt. Improvements are definitely needed. I don't think they've never gotten his likeness right so far. You know, the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan's not, sorry to say, it's not that good. The sculpt's just not that good. It's a little soft, and you know, the one that we saw teased with the Clone Wars, you know, that almost looked like the same one, but even worse. But again, that was a prototype, so you know, it's not been announced officially, so that's kind of a moot point. You know, with this one, it's like it sucks because on some angles, right, you can be like, oh, that kind of looks like him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what you want. That's not what you want with a figure. You don't want to be like, well, yeah, that's like third party almost, right? You know, like a So-So Toys figure, for example, or something else where you're like, yeah, the likeness is kind of there, and you accept that because it's third party. But when we see like constant home runs, like the newly announced, you know, Wolverine. I mean, you know, you're like, okay, come on, you know what I'm saying? So, and this being a DX as well, well, their new line of DX anyway, you would expect that to be. So, you know, I just think they need to rework it, and that's honestly, that's all it is. I think the rest of the figure looks cool, the base looks cool, but if we're talking just strictly the face, I mean, come on, that's not Ewan McGregor, bro. Like. And that's fine. And they listen to the community. I know they don't maybe interact with the community as much as we'd like them to, but they listen. So if, you know, you're vocal about it, not in like a dick way, but, you know, just like, hey, this needs some work. And I'm sure they'll work on it. We've seen it many times where final product photos are like, hey, we updated the sculpt, by the way, you know, so. And I know they've been trying to communicate a little bit more, right? Like they did with the Batman. They're like, hey, check out our new updates. So maybe we'll see something like that in the coming weeks or months, a little progress update or something. But I'm disappointed initially. Like I'm still on the fence whether or not I want to pick him up. I'd like to, but if this is how he's going to be, that's why I'm going to reserve my judgment until he's out, you know, and we see some updated photos or something like that. I'm not eager to jump in and buy it right now because it's not quite there. Again, like right there, you're like, oh, okay, kind of looks like him.
Yep.
But then do I have to pose him that way and look at him on the shelf in that angle to feel like I've purchased an Obi-Wan figure? I don't, you know, so, you know, and again, they listen, so I'm sure they're going to work on it. You know, I think it's pretty good, but it's not where the love, like what we're used to seeing, right? So it's like, I need that level of consistency, especially with these higher ticket items. You know, they're expensive. So that's my thoughts anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree with all that. So I want to hop to actually Optical on this one. So Optical, with this Kenobi, man, how do you feel? Do you think improvements are needed? Because there are good things to be pointed out here. Like I think it was someone in the chat was saying that, you know, we have the USB light up saber, the diorama base is pretty cool with the rock. So there are good things, really good things here. It just the hot ticket for Hot Toys figure is the head sculpt, right? And if the head sculpt is controversial, people kind of get up in arms because, like Anthony said, you are paying like $300 for this, and you know the main reason you're buying it is the head sculpt, among other things, and to pose it and good accessories. But that head sculpt is really the hot ticket item. So Optical, what do you think about it? Would this be satisfying to you if you bought this at retail?
I guess, I mean, we all know it needs improvement. The thing is, like Anthony said, I think that one kind of looks okay.
Yeah,
I
see,
suppose
like that right there.
we're just not so used to it. Like with Hot Toys. Normally, if something's wrong, you can kind of pinpoint it. It's like, oh, the eyes. If you kind of change the eyes. In here, I feel like the shape of the face is kind of wrong. It's a bit chiseled. The eyes, I think it's kind of suffered because of the purse or whatever they call it now. So I can't pinpoint it. But as far as value, so everyone knows that the head sculpt is a bit flawed, right? The good thing is I'm used to that. I buy Asmus, so I can overlook these things. So the head is a bit flawed, fine, but overall, as a value, what is this? $295 at the X. You got this floating, things in the background. You got the USB powered lightsaber. It's still gonna sell. Is Hot Toys gonna improve this? Maybe. I just don't think, like Anthony said, they haven't nailed the first one. So there's no indication that they might nail this 100%. But if it gets improved a little bit, then that's better than nothing, right? What's your other option? Get the first one, who's what, like $500 right now, $400. So this is what, $295. So even though we have some like that, the previous picture, this one kind of looks okay, I think it's still gonna sell. People are gonna settle. I hate to use that word settle because this is $295, but in the grand scheme of things, $295 is not bad for a DX with a floating background, USB powered, lightsaber and all that stuff. I'm not making excuses for this guy, but this is not like Spider-Man, like the PS4 Spider-Man, which we have a plethora of options. Your only option is the $400 used one. So with that being said, as value-wise, sure. I bet you, even if Hot Toys doesn't fix this, it's still gonna sell because it's Obi-Wan and you have no option. With that being said, does it need improvement? I'm sure it does. I'm surprised that they kind of released this. This is kind of like Doc Ock, kind of like, but this is Obi-Wan. With Doc Ock, people was like, what the heck was that? But this is Obi-Wan. He just got off of, like the show that's really popular, and Star Wars is their moneymaker right now. That they released Jeff Bridges all of a sudden. It was like, oh, you do it. It's like, but I think they're confident that they'll be able to sell this regardless. If this is what comes out, if this is what we have in hand, I wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't be too mad because it still looks pretty good for $295, but it's not perfect. We're just not used to it, So I think that's where the conflict begins. But there's no doubt. I mean, it needs some work. But with that being said, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you mean. So, Carlos, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I want to save Leo for last because I know he always has a positive outlook and he loves, the figures. And this figure is still not all bad. Like I said, there's great tailoring there. There's a great base. There's, LED with the USB light up saber. So that's really cool. And Carlos, I want to hear yours a little bit first. And I know, like you said, you used some strong words last time. So go ahead and go in on this figure if you feel like it, and give us your honest thoughts about maybe an improvements that needed, or what do you feel about it?
So I still think that the figure is overall great, right? You should look at the tailoring, the LED lightsaber, the base. So overall, it's a pretty good figure, right? But we buy Hot Toys for the sculpt, right? As far as, I kind of agree with Optical as far as, the value is definitely there. Accessories and the LED saber is more than enough, right? Because you can always, this is probably one of those figures that like you put them in the back shelf. Like, let's say we release it like this, right? You put on the hood, you make sure maybe you don't and then the back shell with the hood on, so you don't really see the sculpt so much. So it's gonna be one of those where people can work around it. I saw someone say that it looks good from afar. Yeah, like if you're like in the other room from afar,
like really far.
Jeez.
Pretty, you know what I mean? Like if you close your eyes, it's looking good. So it's gonna be one of those. The sculpt it's not good. Like let's just be honest. 6.5. If they release this, people are still going to buy it. This is not a peacemaker where people, you know, are just going to skip on this figure. It's Kenobi. It's a pretty important character, obviously, in Star Wars. You know, the previous Kenobi from that's going for like $500. That sculpt is like a 7.5, you know, on a good day, depending on the lighting. Definitely better than this. So Star Wars does have some, you know, misses too, just like Marvel and any other IP. But overall, I would just say that, you know, it's not very good at all. You know, hopefully they fix it. I think from this kind of point of view, I don't really know what's wrong with it. Maybe it is one of those scenarios where they just trash the whole thing and start from the beginning. Maybe this is probably going to be best for them. I'm not sure. I'm not obviously an artist, but it just doesn't look good, right? And it's okay to love Star Wars, and you know, just like everyone in this panel is saying that the head sculpt is not really good. You know what I mean? And that's okay to say. Just like, you know, Iron Man, when they had that Tony Stank situation, right?
Yeah.
That sculpt was trash, and I love Iron Man, and I was the first one to say it too. So same thing here, right? You can love Star Wars, but you can also critique when something doesn't look good, and it definitely doesn't. Like I said, if you close your eyes, it looks good. You're maybe, you know, far away in another room, it starts looking good. But yeah, that's what I think. So
well, appreciate it, man. Like I said, always appreciate the honesty from all of you guys, seriously. But Leal, what are your thoughts on this Obi-Wan, man? I know this is a figure I think all of us are pretty excited about overall, but what are you thinking about it?
Oh, I'm gonna definitely get it. You know, it's one of the figures I was, you know, waiting on from the show, and it was actually the tailoring that I was waiting on from the show. I was hoping they didn't give us the OT version. They did show that in the very end, but it was happy. I'm happy that we're getting this particular version. The tailoring on is incredible. The price of admission for me is not the saber, not the tailoring or the head sculpt. For me, it's actually the base, because I love the simple fact that it comes with that base. It's something totally different that can be utilized with other figures as well. Again, I like that we're getting that LED lightsaber. So, you know, that I do love, you know, that we're getting, you know, this particular version is innovative, and they are stepping the game up, you know, when it comes to that, especially with the base. Head sculpt, look, it's not perfect. You know, I would never say it is perfect, but it does give me hope, because if it looks like this, then it gives them time to make it better. But you know what is this? And I said this, like, yo, literally somebody can juxtapose a Photoshop version of Ewan McGregor's head onto this particular figure, and we'll still find a way to say that something's wrong with it. Like, it doesn't matter. You can look at Ewan McGregor's face, and somebody, you can literally look and say it's Ewan McGregor, but someone will find a way to say, oh, it doesn't look like it, just something's off. Like, that's just the space that we live in right now. So I'm kind of grown comfortable to, you know, with that. But I mean, even still, like, you know, it is a space for improvement, but I'm just getting beyond the head sculpt. I'm looking at the tailoring. I'm looking at the accessories that it come with. It is crazy, because I actually paid it through Sideshow, because I wanted to get that exclusive, the exclusive box with the both lightsaber hilts in it. I wanted to have that accessory because, you know, I definitely like that. But yeah, I mean, again, it's you know, there's room for improvement. There's room for it to get better. And I like the simple fact that it will get better. You know what I mean? There's no other way but up from this. You know what I mean? But I'm just, you know, I'm just waiting. I'm just basically waiting to see, and I will have it. I mean, especially to recreate like this. And the thing is, it's like, if you think of it this way, if we're getting that lightsaber with him, we're bound to get the same lightsaber for Vader. And that's what the bonus is going to be. And I cannot wait for that. I just hope that finally they give us a Vader that's a bit more articulated, and less fat suity. So I would love to actually see that. But yeah, I'm all in for this, man. Regardless, you know, I'm a Star Wars fan. I always will be a Star Wars fan. And I'll give everything a benefit of the doubt. I don't mind critiquing it. I don't mind saying when shit is not on point. And a head sculpt, I'll give it a 6.5. I mean, I'll basically, you know, be the first to say that, you know, it's definitely not, you know, 100%, but I have the belief, you know what I mean? I have the belief that, you know, they can get it better and they can make it better. And, you know, again, hopefully they don't, you know, they're not as transparent as we want them to be, but in their own way, they listen. You know what I mean? So we'll just have to basically wait and see. So I'm still in for it. I can't wait till it's dropped.
Yeah, dude, I think it's exciting nonetheless, Leo. And I wanted to ask you guys real quick, because we got to answer this and move on to the next one. But didn't Obi-Wan have like a white outfit in the show at the end too? Like, am I crazy?
He
Yeah,
goes
I mean,
back
they-
into
they-
basically it's the suit that we eventually get the chance to see, with New Hope. It's
Yeah.
just more aged. So
yeah,
we do
exactly.
see him
So we should get a
basically-
second
yeah.
figure, right?
Yeah, we possibly will.
Yeah.
It was the
Possibly.
Mythos outfit.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
straight.
yeah.
That's what I thought.
It was, which was
Yeah.
hilarious because that thing has been for years sitting there, and then it sold out on Sideshow after
Really?
that.
Like
Okay.
that. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
See, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I'll wait for the next because I like that white outfit. I thought
Well, he
that
had
was
three
pretty cool.
outfits. He
Yeah.
was kind of beginning. He had this, and
Yeah.
then that white Mythos. So I'm in agreement. I don't think this is. Well, it depends on the success or the product limit or prerequisite that Disney requests from manufacturers. So there
Yeah.
could be another Obi-Wan coming from this show.
Yeah.
There really could. I mean, we could get 3. I don't know. It just, again, it depends, right? Because sometimes they'll say, oh, well, you want to make this television show, we require at least 4 figures from this line, for example. You know
3
what I mean?
Kenobis? You think so?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they could do that though. I mean, they
Yeah.
could.
I guess if they were to do it, I guess it just wouldn't only be a Marvel problem where they just keep making more and more of the same figure then.
No, it would
Yeah.
end up just being a hot toy. No, but seriously though, like they could.
They
And some
could.
things.
Yeah, they
So
could.
some things are. Here's the thing though, too. Like just a quick segue. It's not hot toys coming up with stuff because like I've heard some people being like, oh, look at Hot Toys coming out of nowhere with Arena Fett, and I'm like, well, no, it's Disney coming out of there because it's not Hot Toys who did it because there's a Black Series Arena Fett. It comes from the top, and they say, okay, you guys go ahead and
Right.
this is what we want to do. If they want to promote their War of the Bounty Hunter run, tie-in stuff, merchandise. So it always comes from the top. You know what I'm saying? So if Disney is like, we want 2 Obi-Wans, then they're gonna make 2 Obi-Wans.
I
See
wonder
what I'm
if
saying?
Sideshow has any say on that though. Like what figures can potentially be or not. Like
They might.
the arena, maybe the Arena Boba Fett. Maybe they had some input on that too. So and just curious, that's all.
Yeah. It's interesting. I still think that figure's gonna go back up for pre-order, but we'll see. I guess.
I
Over
do
time.
too.
I still think we'll see. Still gonna be a fun giveaway. But guys, I have to ask the question, and I actually want to start with Lael again on this one. So Lael, character versus figure, because the reason I brought this up after Obi-Wan, because say for example the Obi-Wan figure comes out, right, and it's just not, it's like the same head sculpt that we got, right? The reason I'm bringing up Rey, and they updated this head sculpt, because for a lot of people, Rey was a figure that they didn't really want at first, right? It was because the character they didn't like. The sequels weren't all beloved, by me mostly, and then some others. But Rey is not like a beloved character, I would say, not yet anyway. So, the reason I ask this question is because say maybe a figure is a little bit subpar, but it's a character that you love. Is that more important, or is it sometimes the figure that's more important? Does the figure have to look good for you to buy it, or is it more like the character that you're buying?
I mean, for me, it's hand in hand. Like, I mean, the figure. The thing is, I'm not going to buy the figure unless I love the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I have to love the character in order for me to invest in that figure. I'm not just going to buy something that I don't necessarily like, because then you fall into that trap. I'm just buying it just because. If you're just buying the figure just because, all right, the figure looks cool, and I'm not saying most people do. They know nothing about the character, but they'll buy it because it looks cool. But then after a while, they just, I gravitate to something that's more so, for me, I pre-ordered that Rey day one. You know what I mean? Day one it dropped. I pre-ordered it because I wanted that figure. You know what I mean? It was a piece that I wanted. Surprisingly enough, I sold this.
I know. I heard about that.
Yeah, I sold this. I got rid of it. And mainly because it wasn't that I didn't like the figure. It was just because something had to go. And it definitely wasn't going to be a leader. I think, with this, I did like the articulate. I mean, I liked how it looked aesthetically, but it wasn't something that I necessarily needed at that time. And plus, I had to make room in the detail for something totally different, something else, on what I wanted to do. But I mean, again, I love Hellboy, but I don't love him enough to basically hang on to that figure. You feel me? So that's just that's the way it was. Whereas every other figure that I actually have, even, I went back, that Bat Lady, a lot of people from So-So, it was a figure that I bought because I love, now not the television show, but I'm a fan of the comic of, Batwoman. So that's, the character I invested in because, I love that character arc, and I got the figure. Yeah, I mean, that's just the way I pick. I have to actually have a connection to that figure. I have to like the figure. I mean, the character, for me to basically buy that figure. That's just basically where I'm sitting right now. I'm one of the ones where, okay, there were a lot of people who purchased, and this might be a bit crazy, but a lot of people who purchased Yondu because they love that figure. I didn't purchase Yondu because I'm not connected to that character like everybody else is. I know who he was. I know what he represented in the books. But in that Mafia, you'll agree with me. Yondu wasn't as important as they have made him in the films. He wasn't that important at all in the books whatsoever. He had a limited run. He was only in the books for like maybe a couple but he wasn't as important. It's the film that basically made him important. So even though the film did that, I still didn't connect to the character. Therefore, I didn't purchase the figure. Yes, it's a grail for a lot of people because the head sculpt's on point. But what they're basically looking at is the head sculpt of the actor, not the actual comic rendition. So that's why for me, it wasn't important. And it still isn't important for me to purchase this figure. You know what I mean? Even if they did, and to be quite honest, if they did a re-release on this, I still wouldn't get it because it's not important to me.
Yeah, me neither.
You feel me?
Would I? Yeah.
So that's basically where I fit. The characters have to be important to me, something that I gravitated to. Again, a lot of people didn't like the sequels, but I love, and I've stressed this, I don't care what anybody else says, I love Rey's story, her personal story, where she's going. I love the character, and I just thought that it could have been progressive. They could have did something better. Even though the sequels, they just, I still love the character. I got Kylo as well. I love that character, because of course it's a Star Wars figure, but I've connected to it. But if it's something that I don't necessarily want, I don't care what IP it is. If I don't connect to it, I won't get it. So that's just where I sit.
Okay. Got it. Well, dude, super interesting there. Like I said, this is always a very interesting topic for me. So I want to jump actually to Optical on this one. So Optical, how do you approach this character versus figure? Which do you feel ultimately like is more important? I know they go hand in hand, but if you had to like pick one, what do you think you'd say?
I dabbled in both. So if I have to pick one, it's always the character, right? And I'll give you a perfect example here. I'm a fan of pop culture as much as I'm a fan of a figure. I can appreciate a figure that's really good, even though I have no connection with, like that Hellboy. No, I saw the movie, didn't like it, never liked Hellboy. But when I had it in hand, it's a darn good figure. You get it and be like, man, this is what Hot Toys is all about, right? Like the outfit, the articulation and all that stuff. I bought this. I would sell the Hellboy first, even though this doesn't look like Viggo Mortensen at all, because I love the character, right? Like at the end of the day, you buy it because you have a connection for it. Doesn't mean you can't buy, I mean, we've all done it. We buy figures that are just look cool. Will, you bought Mark 47,
That's true, I did. Then I sold it like a week later.
Normally those things are the first one to go, the cool ones, so to speak. Because let's be honest, like, we keep on saying, oh, you can't buy every Hot Toy. Man, look at this guy. This is actually even a better picture because when you have it in hand, it doesn't even look like this. It's worse. Yeah, this is the guy that got kicked me out of Asmus. So, but we've all done it, right? Like we always say this. It's like, oh, you can't collect everything because they're so expensive. But what if they're cheap, right? Sometimes you see a deal kind of like that Mark 47 that you kind of overlook that because you also gotta appreciate the artistry of Hot Toys. Now, when your shelf starts becoming full, they're the first one to go, regardless of how cool they are. Because let's be honest, Mark 47 is a better figure than Rey. Yet Mark 47 is the first one to leave in your collection. It's like, so that is because that is your connection with the character. So ultimately, I think of all of us, you can overlook, the Rey, deficiencies compared to Mark 47. But at the end of the day, you either pick the one that's higher value when you sell them, or the one that's the least one. As long as, like, I would like, even though this is like, I mean, the head sculpt is just awful. This would stay before another Iron Man. You know what I mean? Unless I know that InArt is doing one. But yeah, I think all of us would pick our favorite character first, regardless of how cool the figure. You can pick the coolest figure in your collection that you don't love, and I guarantee you would pick. Let's say for Carlos, he would pick an Iron Man first before, let's say, Alino or something. But
yeah. Carlos, how do you approach this, bro? Character versus figure. What do you think?
Definitely 100% character, right? Yes, you kind of have to have a little bit of both, but if you have to pick one, it has to be character. I mean, there was a time when I got into the Star Wars type, right? Unfortunately, and I bought every single Star Wars figure, basically. And then I was like, you know what? I don't really need any of these, so I sold them all, right? And it wasn't really something I was into. I'd rather have a Mark 50 over a ton of Star Wars figures, right? And I do actually have a Mark 50 that Robert Downey Jr. signed, right? Like, I love Iron Man, so I'm gonna have this over anything. And that's really the whole thing, right? It's when you start having figures just randomly that you don't really care for, those are the first ones to go pretty quickly. Now you can develop an appreciation for those. Like, I've developed an appreciation for, episode 3 of Star Wars, and I've developed an appreciation of Clone Wars, but I don't love those pieces enough where I would rather have these pieces, or like Marvel pieces or Iron Man's, right, over those. So yeah, character over figure, pretty much always. And if your figure or character happens to have both, like, I think for me, the Battle Damage Mark 85, then it's a huge win. It's one of those that no matter what happens, those are going to stay. And that's essentially what happened with me, right? I have that one. And again, it's signed. So that's a forever figure for me. Same thing with this Mark 50. So yeah, character over figure, pretty much always. If you have a figure that has both, right, that's really great. And then it's only going to be a home run for you. So yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's very true though, Carl. It's like, for example, the Game Toys figures, from, the Final Fantasy ones, Cloud and Sephiroth. They're great figures, but a lot of it is the character, right? A lot of it is just because I love the characters. So that's how I tend to be with third parties. Lael knows with third parties, it's always like, if it excites me with the character, then I'll talk about it and get it. If not, then I'm like, I don't really want to talk about it. But Anthony, bro, what about you, man? Character versus figure. Where do you land on this?
Well, it's kind of like what everybody said. There's a little bit of, I want to say half and half, but sometimes it happens, right? So perfect example is Rey, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the way she looked initially, and then we got the final products, right? And she looked really good. And I, for the most part, I obviously enjoy Star Wars. I don't enjoy all Star Wars though. So for me, it was like, okay, I saw the update. I really liked the fact that she had Leia's saber, things like that. They updated her, they updated the sculpt, and I bought her. And I just recently sold her right now, but I had her like day one, and because she looked good, and I was like, okay, and I justified to myself because I'm like, well, I'm into Star Wars, but I'm not into the sequels, so it's things like that where I was like, oops. So in that particular case, right, I made a decision to go with figure over character, right? And that happens a lot in the community in general, I think, because some things just look really good. You're like, well, that might look good in my collection. Or as, Carlos said, sometimes you grow to appreciate certain things over time too. So there, sometimes you're like, well, maybe I'll get it because what if I end up really liking it and then I'm going to miss it and it's going to sell out and yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of those thoughts that go through our heads as collectors. But ultimately it's like, and that's kind of why I've been getting rid of some of my figures because they don't gravitate toward me, right? Like the prequels or the Clone Wars. Like, yeah, I like them. I like the show. I like the movie, but the original trilogy for me is like, my eyes always go there, no matter what. I'm like, original trilogy is like, just for Star Wars, speaking Star Wars only. So you have to, ultimately, I think it comes down to, as everybody said, the character has to be more important. Otherwise, you're just chasing figures and amassing this collection of stuff that you're like, oh man, I forgot I had that figure. Because it's just, you got it at the time because you thought it looked cool, but you don't like identify with it. There's no, whether it's a nostalgia thing or like you're just a super fan of something. Like I would do, like, that's my Obi-Wan right there. That's my Obi-Wan, So that's why I got rid of episode 3 Obi-Wan. He's not my Obi-Wan. I don't connect to him. It's not that I don't like him, but there's no connection there, right? And like some of these Clone War figures, they look cool. And I bought some. I was like, yeah, those are pretty cool, man. Clone Wars is cool. But I don't connect, right? So it's always, I think at the end of the day, it always has to come down to character. If you know what I mean? If you don't like character, then you kind of, that's why you see all this stuff go up on sale everywhere. Mm-hmm. People are like, well, I thought I'd like it. I got it. I don't really connect to it. I'm selling it.
Yeah, it's true,
Yeah.
bro. Absolutely, man. It's true. And I got to address Carlos' super chat. Thanks so much, Carlos. On the panel himself, dropping a
Hey.
super chat. Hit that like button. Guys, listen to Carlos. Hit that like button, please. And thank you all for watching here. We got 182 in the chat right now. That's amazing. So thank you guys. Seriously, that means a lot. And yeah. There's always a great discussion when we talk about these type of topics. So, but we want to move on here. I want to go ahead and jump into actually the showcase reveals. We have Wolverine on the docket, but he's probably going to come up in these pictures anyway. So I want to talk about sort of what Hot Toys has shown at this summer showcase, because I know Carlos is chomping at the bit to talk about that Mando and one ship. And there's a lot of things that I want to just show briefly real quick before we jump to the first panel member. But there's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, they showed this whole No Way Home display with a Toby figure that should be coming soon. There's no head sculpt shown, so I'm assuming there'll be one eventually. The suit looks updated, right? That's pretty cool. You got Electro and all of them. You got Green Goblin, Doc Ock, all the good stuff, right? And then the Mando ship. So we're going to go ahead and sort through these photos. But Carlos, I'm going to start with you on this one. With the Mando ship, was that really the one that jumped out to you from the reveals? Was there anything else, that jumped out to you in addition to that? Like, how do you feel about everything that was shown?
So I don't really care about anything that was shown except for this. So
Okay.
this one is the N1 Starfighter. It looks really great. What's funny is that I think I was talking to you and Mafia about it, but we all go through this FOMO, right? Like fear of missing out. And someone said some really corny thing of like JOMO, which is like joy of missing out. And that's kind of leaning on where it's like, I'm really happy that I don't have pre-orders or that I don't owe anything, or I'm not in a rush to get any figures, because yeah, you might miss some, and that's okay, because I'll rather miss so many other things I'm okay about, because then let's just hypothetically pretend to release this, then you can actually get this Starfighter, which is going to be like $1,500, $2,000. I don't think they're going to release it, but if they do, then that's exactly what it is, or whatever other thing comes out, a vehicle or whatever you really want. So for me, man, I'm really excited. Hopefully they release this. Everything else, it's really cool. Like the Spider-Mans and the Wolverine is really awesome, and the Iron Man and all that. But I mean, like I have a half scale Iron Man, so quarter scale isn't going to do shit for me. This is going to do something for me, right? Like the N1 Starfighter. If they release this, I'm going to buy it. So I'm really excited. Like I said, I think it's great when you purposely miss stuff. Yeah, like this looks good, but I mean, the N1 fighter, it's going to be better, Starfighter. So yeah, so I'm glad that I don't have anything, because I could get this, and if I do miss it, then happy that I guess I missed out, so that I could get something as awesome as this. Like no figure, in my opinion, that you can get would just match this N1 Starfighter, in my opinion.
And that's the Chrome Mando, Carlos, it looks like in there.
Yeah, so I would rather miss 15, 20 figures just to get this, but that's me. Right, I would kick back out of the bed and I'll sleep with this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really want this. So that's just me, though. They release the Batwing. That's really cool, but let's be honest, no one cares because this looks better. They released a bunch of different stuff. Again, personally, no, I don't care. I only care about this and Mando that's in there because it's chrome and it looks really badass. And I would want this exact same setup. So I'm sure they're going to release another Iron Man, because I've heard like they're going to release the Mark III 2.0, and that would be really cool. But I'm getting the life size, so I really don't care. The Vader will probably be really cool, but it's not cooler than this, man. So again, I would rather miss all this really awesome stuff, except that Iron Man that looks like shit. All this other, this awesome stuff for that N1 Starfighter. So that's just me. So
yeah, okay, very interesting. So Lael, man, the summer showcase. What jumped out to you? How do you feel about the announcements? You are excited about what they shown? How do you feel?
I'm really excited about the announcements, bro. Like I said, I mean, I even the other day, with the releases that we got, again, I had already jumped and said that Wolverine, number one was out of all three of the other ones that we got the other day. That Wolverine was the one that stood out and was definitely the one that I wanted. I'm just like, I love that version. I love the tailoring on it. It looks really good. Something that, it came out of left field, but I was happy in a way because, like I said, I just love that figure. I love the way it looks aesthetically, and then to have that figure. And then we got the reveal of that N1. And I had been saying for the longest time, man, like, when they released that N1, I was a fan of the N1 Starfighter when it was released, back with the prequels. I loved it. I love what it represented. I don't even know the explanation of the actual ship itself. You know, it does, you know, it just looks classic, souped up. I mean, literally, I mean, I can't say too much more about it. It's incredible. When we saw it in that episode of the Book of Boba Fett, and there was a substitute because we had always wanted to know when was he going to get another ship. To see that Naboo starfighter, I was like, you know what? It makes sense. It makes so much sense for the character to have this ship, because the thing is, it's not just a ship, but it brings both Grogu, and you know, it's personal for Grogu and Mando. It brings them closer. Like, it's just them two. There's nothing else in the ship that really matters at that particular point. No other, you know, there's no storage compartment, nothing else that really matters outside of just those two figures going on, the characters going on an adventure. And it sort of puts me in the mind of like an important character. If we look at Luke, how important Luke was to the X-Wing fighter. That's all we knew was Luke and the X-Wing that we actually got. And this is what it kind of harkens back to. You got to understand that Mando right now is the new Star Wars. You can't take it away. Mando is the new Star Wars because it is the thing that is working. You know what I mean? It's working, and that ship is sailing quite clean right now. To have this piece, I cannot wait. I'm hoping that they do. And a lot of people are saying like it'll never happen. I believe it's going to happen. I really literally believe, because they're pushing forward that production, or that you know, that video that we actually got, that sneak peek. I mean, they're jumping in on this. And for people that basically say they'll never do it, you got to think about companies like Jazz Inc. that will. And Hot Toys knows that. They know that Jazz Inc. will basically jump in the fray and do it. Look what happened when they basically released you know, that the 89 Batman, what was it, the Bat, whatever, when they released, or when they actually showed that at the showcase, someone got back to Yost, and Yost made it a point to make a video talking about it. You know what I mean? And about how, okay, that's just a 1/12 scale, it's not a 1/6 scale. You know what I mean? He wanted to actually differentiate the two, but that lets him know that, lets me know that there is a threat somewhere in there. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. It goes both ways. Hot Toys knows that there's potential that he could actually do something like this. And to say that they won't do it, I think that they will. I think that they kind of, I mean, for one particular reason, that we've gotten so many vehicles right now, that we're getting vehicles from them. You know what I mean? We got the Tumbler, which my Tumbler will be here on Tuesday.
Nice.
We got, yes, we got, you know, those vehicles that they actually showed at Star Wars Celebration. You know what I mean? You know, for the Star Wars figures and stuff like that. So I do honestly believe that we'll get this. And if it does drop, I'm right there with Carlos. I'm getting this thing. I mean, because if you're getting that Chrome Mando, if you're already going to have that Mandalorian in hand, I mean, come on, man. Like it's a perfect match, made in heaven, man. Like, seriously. So I would definitely drop and get it. Hands down. No complaints, nothing. I mean, look, people had already gotten that you know, they got the Hulkbuster. You spending money on that Hulkbuster because you want it. It's something that connects to people. This mainly connects to me, just like DeLorean connects to people who love Back to the Future. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just a no-brainer for me. If we get this, man, I would be so happy. Yes, I will drop those pennies for it. I'll pay it off over time if I have to. But I am definitely going to get this, man, because it's a beautiful ship. I love the simple fact that we got those LED lights in the cockpit. I love everything about it, man. Like, there's nothing that I see wrong, you know, with this ship, and I'm so happy if they do it, man.
Yeah,
Commander Griga. Go ahead, Carlos.
Go ahead. I was gonna say that I'll get this, even, you know, if Jazz Inc. makes it. I'll buy all the putty that I need to. And I was still.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Where you
After
gonna get it
seeing
from,
that
Carlos?
comment, yeah.
Huh?
So guys,
You
were you
gonna get
gonna
it from
say
Jazz Inc?
Say it again, what?
Are you gonna get it from Jazz Inc?
If they make it, I mean, not under my name, but
Yeah, not under your name. Exactly. One of us will have to buy it and then ship it to you.
someone's gonna have to buy it for
Yeah.
me.
I know.
That ain't gonna be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be me either. Guys, let's address some super chats real quick before we go to the next panel member. So Denobi, thanks so much, bro. Thanks so much. $5. Fantastic ensemble. I know an Avengers level panel here. Who's popping their cherry at SCCC? Also, don't get punished by history. Think twice on passing on certain figures. Yeah. Well, you may be right, Denobi. You may be right. But SCCC, Leo, are you going to that?
No,
Okay.
I'm not going this year, man. I'm going, like I said, I'll be at New York Comic Con, but not this one. Things just didn't work out. It was just too close.
Yeah.
For me. So I'm definitely not going to go. But I mean, when's it start again? Is it this?
I think it's next. Mario was telling me next weekend. I think
Next weekend or something like that. Is
Wednesday.
it Thursday? Wednesday?
Wednesday opens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wednesday
Wednesday's the
opens, yeah.
opening. So yeah. And like I said, on top of that, bro, it's how hard to get these tickets. It's incredibly hard to get them anyway. So I was never one to jump onto it. You know what I mean? It's, you know, if I lived in the LA or California or San Diego area, definitely I probably would, but nah, New York Comic Con is where I'm going to be, and we'll get some stuff there. I know Sideshow will probably be there as well. We probably won't see this. I mean, but we'll see some of the, you know, some of those releases. So I'll be happy to see that. I'm good with it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So, and none of you other you guys are going to STCC, right?
Mm-mm.
No. Yeah, I'm not either. But it sounds fun. And we want to address Riley's super chat too. Riley said, I was a little disappointed Andrew got no suit / mask upgrades when compared to Toby being revamped. So happy we have both. What do you guys think? I think we're all pretty much in agreement with that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
I think there's going to be
Andrew's-
improvement though.
You think so?
I guarantee you that's not the final product we're seeing.
Yeah.
Because they know
right.
it's going to sell anyway, but so they just released that. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be better than that.
Right.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Well, Riley, Optical's got hope, bro. And Nathan Alker, Nathan, the man himself. Great chat as always. Well, thanks so much, Nathan. Appreciate you, my dude. The man with the amazing bases that he creates. So let's see. Optical. So with the showcase reveals, I know we've talked about the Mando Naboo Starfighter a lot. Was there anything else in here that really jumped out to you? Do you feel happy or excited about these reveals at the showcase?
Dude, I think this is the first time in a while that I gave them props because this is a good lineup right here.
Mhm.
I mean, normally we'll get like every year we kind of wanted some one-off. We got 2 one-offs in here, which is this Wolverine that I never saw coming. It was just like, even though it's Marvel, I mean, what are you really
Yeah.
going to pair it with, right? There's
It
no
looks like
X-Men,
Carlos.
so you can consider this as a one-off. look at that beautiful right there.
I
But
know.
and then Matrix. I mean, I know a lot of people does not like that movie, but put us as
Yeah.
one-off. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I'll take that Matrix instead of like a holographic Mark V,
Yeah,
plastic
that's
Iron Man. I'll take that, regardless if you
Yeah.
buy it or not. But I like this lineup. I see myself buying, I don't know, like 3 or 4 out of that lineup. Now the vehicles are surprising because I think they're getting pushed from Jazz Inc. They're kind of getting that push from Jazz Inc. 'cause
Yeah.
We've seen them announce these figures, these vehicles before, but they never really make them. But I
Yeah.
think Jazz Inc. They saw Jazz Inc. is selling these vehicles at a high rate, even
Yeah.
at an expensive rate. So they're like, why not dabble into it? I think it would determine with this Tumblr and this Back to the Future, because if they don't release this, no one's gonna blame them for it because they've done it before. They'll be like, oh, it's
Yeah.
Hot Toys again. They did it again. But I think it all depends on how much Tumblr is gonna sell and
Yeah.
that Back to the Future and that DeLorean. If it sells a lot, it would tell a lot from Hot Toys. It's like, hey, you know what? We can actually do this. We can, rival, I guess, Jazz Inc.
Yeah.
There's a market for it. So why not put I think the Tumblr's like a feeler for them. They're trying to get a feel of how many people are, because back then, we all heard it. It was like, oh, it's so expensive. We don't have space, but everything's expensive nowadays. And see them like they're buying Jazz Inc. So why not, take a piece of that pie? So hopefully those things come to fruition and they get made. But dude, I like this lineup. I like this lineup a lot. It's not the predictable one, even though we've seen they're how do I say this? They're familiar, but they're new. Like we all wanted that Spider-Man. We got it. Even if it comes out like that, it's still gonna sell because
Yeah.
everyone missed out on that 7 years ago. So it is gonna sell. That Wolverine, that Days of Future Past Wolverine, one of the considered grails out there. This one's gonna sell. Regardless if it's gonna sit, who cares, right? As long as it sells, But all of these guys are, I think they're exciting. They're new. They offer, all of them offer something unique. Even that Boba, we call it like, hey, it's just a repaint. It's still something unique. So this lineup is really good. So I'm excited.
Looks like Carlos.
It does look like Carlos. Guys. Looking just like Wolverine over there. Anthony, how do you feel about the summer showcase reveals? Do you think Hot Toys, hit a home run here?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, yeah, dude. Like, let me digest some of what everybody just said here. Look, well, hey, it's a quarter scale Mark 6. It's somebody's gonna love that for Iron Man fan and quarter scale. The Starfighter, I'm in. I'm in. And you got to understand, and Leo mentioned it earlier, you know, they made a sizzle reel. And I make videos, dude, for a living. That's what I do. You people, somebody made that. Somebody spent money to make that video as an advertisement. That's where it starts messing with my head, because it's not like they just show it off here. Then like that night they're like, hey, check out this little sizzle reel. It's 180, centimeters long, 5 feet 8 inches. They're showing that, and they highlight that the turbines, spin and light up. I mean, that's an advertisement. You know what I mean? It's not like a flex at a convention. So it makes me think, and into Optical's point, people are spending obscene amounts of money on Jazz Inc. stuff.
Yeah.
$2,000, $2,500. So Hot Toys is like, yeah, we can do this for like $700.
Yeah.
Or whatever. There's a market clearly if people are buying it. So they would rather that market. And I think ultimately the consumers would want that from them anyway to go along with their said figures. So, so the Starfighter, dude, hell yeah. I was thinking about it. Yeah, it's big. We'd figure out where it goes. If they do it, it'll probably like snap together, because they're not shipping you a 6-foot box. You know what I mean? But they have the engineering to do all that, Yeah. So it would just be a seamless, put it together. You're not even gonna be able to tell. I'm excited for that. Wolverine took me by storm personally. Because it was he's like the fourth one, I think. He's either the fourth or fifth Wolverine from Hot Toys, but it's been a while, so it felt kind of refreshing, right? And it was also, I think, a flex. To InArt. They'd be like, hey, check it out. Well, we're doing real leather stuff now. We're changing up our base style. We're having those swap out seamless arms. We're innovating, to the consumer. And what better way to do that with something that we're not anticipating, right? Because, we'll collect Marvel, we'll collect Star Wars, DC when permitted, but it becomes predictable, Like, I knew Obi-Wan was coming. We knew Spider-Man was coming. It's the movie,
Yeah.
Wolverine comes out, you're like, whoa, okay. Right. I would like, and some people are like, why are you going backward? It's old. I'm like, yo,
I'm happy. I'm glad he did it.
Let's do it. Let's give me that Ripley with the power loader, show all those cool, like, let's go further back.
I will say that in our private chat, somebody pissed me off when we saw that. When I saw that somebody purchased that Ripley, I thought it was a re-release, and they said it wasn't. I was like, "Fucker!"
That was
like,
me, bro.
I know, man. Why'd you do it? You put it up. I thought it was a re-release. I was so mad, bro. I was like, "Yo," because I wanted that thing so bad, but nah.
Well, because the economy's just crashed. Everything's it's fire sales everywhere.
Yeah.
So I picked her up for nothing.
Yeah.
Take advantage of the opportunity. You know what I mean? But no, it's not a reissue. But that's But you see how excited you got because you thought.
Yeah.
And that's my point. A lot of us are remembering the days where Hot Toys was not just a Disney manufacturer, and that's what it feels like it's been for a long time. And not to say that we don't, again, we're going to buy our Star Wars, we're going to buy our Marvels, but I want to see stuff like that. Give us Bruce Lee's, Michael Jackson's, all the old stuff that they don't do anything like that anymore. It's very, very rare. So even though it's not that old, to see a Wolverine was super refreshing. It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Something a little different. Let's go. But otherwise, I think they did a pretty good job showing everything off. That Spider-Man display they set up was great looking. I'm especially excited for people who are collecting the No Way Home line, because that's really cool, man. We're getting like all the villains. That Vulture's coming. The Vulture's coming. It's not even a joke at this point. It's because, they showed it at 2018, I think, right? That's when they just showed it off, and it was just mum's the word. But then with Jazz Inc. doing theirs, then we have two other third parties. So we have three third party unlicensed Vultures on the market right now.
There,
So they're like, no, we're putting it out. I don't know what that was.
That was Will's.
It was the sound of the video. So
I was like,
that was Will's upcoming single called.
It was, but that's called
he's editing his OnlyFans video for later tonight.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, I was trying to play video.
Yeah, he was dropping. Look, new single coming. My feet are yours.
This is going to be awesome right here. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm excited for Spider-Man fans, even though he's not in the No Way Home. Can you imagine? And Lale, you understand that as well. You have a Vulture, the Doc Ock, Electro. You have everybody, right? You're just like, this would be really cool. And you only need one Spider-Man, really, if you just wanted to have a
Mhm.
you know, rogues gallery of Spider-Man villains, like,
Yeah.
or have all
Yeah.
three of the, you know, the multiverse ones. But
Yeah.
dude, that's badass, man. So yeah, expect this. This is gonna get announced at some point.
Yeah. It looks
Yeah.
badass, bro.
Yeah, they're
really
showing
does.
it, and it will. They're and it looks like that jacket does look like it's genuine leather. So
Yeah,
they're
I
going
was
the
gonna
route.
point that out too. Yeah,
maybe
you're right.
It might
maybe
be. I
Inart
mean, if
had
they're
an
doing
impact.
Wolverine like that, you know,
Yeah,
let's see. That's what I'm more excited for. Is that
Yeah.
this is what I got out of the whole thing this past week.
Yeah.
We saw real leather. We saw new base styles. So far, we've seen 3 circular bases. I don't know if that's going to be a new standard or what, but we've seen that. We've seen the swap out seamless arms. You know, we've seen USB powered lightsabers. Like those are the things I'm looking at rather than because figures are coming and going, right? They'll always be there. So what are they doing to improve? You know, that all that shit's exciting because it's not just like Lael said earlier that Vader's going to have a USB lightsaber.
Yeah, you will.
You see what I'm saying? We're moving forward, which is awesome. We've been kind of like just stagnant. We're just going on this lateral move for the past few years. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking forward to most, the innovation of everything.
They're
Yeah,
definitely getting better. It's like fuck in art, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. They're
But
like,
you know
what?
what? I appreciate companies like InArt, companies like Jazz Inc. that are pushing the envelope and causing Hot Toys to rethink and say, well, if there is a market for these things, people are willing to buy it. So yes, let's go back and rethink, put money into this production and just kind of make some money for ourselves. And I think that they should, because we love Hot Toys. Like we definitely love them. And we want to basically support the product, you know what I mean? So when they do things like this, you know, I know, look, this Vulture for me, I'm not going to get because I already have one, but I'm happy for everyone else that will get it because I know they've wanted one, and it's going to be half the price. Plain and simple, it's not going to be as much as what was asked for. So it will be a bit cheaper. You'll be able to get your hands on it, and I'm happy for that. But again, we're seeing a simple fact that that button is being pushed and it's causing them to kind of think and say, look, you know, we need to give the people what they want. And I hope they continue to do that, man. Like seriously, I'm definitely if they and if they give us that new Bull Starfighter, I'm sold.
Yeah,
straight up, I'm sold.
Do
Well,
you have the Jazz Inc. one layout?
What'd you say?
You have the Jazz Inc. Vulture?
Yeah, I have the Jazz Inc. Vulture, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it. And that's what I'm saying. Like I have the Jazz Inc. Vulture. I have the what is it? I have the which I keep forgetting the damn name of the country. Not so but
Toys Era.
Toys Era. I have the Toys Era Doc Ock, and I have the Toys Era or actually, yeah, that is a toy. No.
yeah, I think it is.
They are.
It is the Toys. Yeah, the Toy Era
Yeah.
Fiend. So yeah, basically I have both. So I don't necessarily need you know, those figures from Hot Toys, but I'm still happy that they're producing them, you know, and everybody have a chance to get them. So it's still good.
Can I ask real quick just before?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, real quick, I just wanted to ask you, Lael, real quick. If this thing does come out and it's like, okay, here's the announcement photos, and it's like, okay, you got a leather jacket, you got light up or motorized, you know, turbines, and there's possibly a Michael Keaton head sculpt and all these different hands and accessories. You would still pass, you think?
Still pass because I don't need the head sculpt.
Mm.
I don't. I mean, I have my display is set up exactly the way I want it, and I'm not touching it. You know, it's the way I want it. I don't need to actually have any added on accessories for the way I have things. And it's just basically if I had for me, especially for something this big, there's no reason for me to have two of the same figure just because one might basically and just because one might basically present, you know, more accessories. And then we already know that those head sculpts will probably end up on the third party market anyway. You'll be able to probably grab it. I really don't need it right now. It's just not something that I necessarily need. You know what I mean? Now, if you know, Hot Toys decided that they wanted to actually go all in and give us a full body lizard, then I'd get that. You know what I mean? I'd probably get that to kind of just complete the collection. But as far as right now, I don't need it. But it's not to say it's a terrible piece. I just don't need it. But I'm happy for everybody else that will.
You just need a lot of putty.
Yeah, you need a lot of putty.
Yeah,
That's what
putty, you can just use it yourself. But
Yeah, see, Optimal's right. Guys, we got to address Brother Cousin Super Chat. He said, can't wait to see the sticker shock on this N1 Starfighter when released. Thanks so much, Brother Cousin, for the Super Chat. I think we're all pretty much in agreement with that.
1,500, 2,000.
Anthony, I thought you said you think it's a little bit lower, right, than that?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. Yeah, because, I mean, if you look at, and again, this harkens back to old stuff too, but like the DeLorean, man, I'm so excited for the Mark II DeLorean, dude, right? And that's $800. Now, this is still a piece of plastic at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Granted, it's going to be a little bit bigger, and they're going to charge a little bit more because of its size. But, you know, again, if they have it compacted and you put it together in a box, I think 1,500 would be too high. Personally, I think they would probably land around 11 to maybe 13. And I think 13 would be too much. Now, granted, things are getting pricier, but that would be a lot, man, because if you look at what their ticket items are, like the most expensive so far is the DeLorean in 2022, right?
And it was the 1-to-1 Infinity Gauntlet was like what, 930 or something?
Buster might be
something,
the most
right? But you know, that's more of like not the 6 scale.
Yeah, and that's massive and has LED light.
Yeah, so
1,200. But then you look at something like Blitzway, and that's like what, a $1,700 vehicle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
but the Blitzway Ecto 1 is like, it's almost like a
has
model. It's like a work of art. Like,
yeah, it has like speakers and stuff, and like it's
There's also massive. That's
yeah, I mean, and like it's all lights. You can plug in USB to change the sounds. Every little nook and cranny is like super detailed under the hood everywhere. You know, so it's like I get the 1,700 sticker on that guy.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think like the first DeLorean, granted, you know, inflations, whatever, it was like I think 600 when that one came out. So, you know what I mean? Eight ish for the DeLorean. I'd say like 12, maybe 1,200 is what I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I would get the N1 regardless. So it can be 1,200, it can be 2,000. I don't give a fuck. I'm regardless.
I would consider it for sure. I really would want it. I think you guys would. it looks pretty amazing, especially if you can put Mando in it and Grogu in it.
It does, bro.
And it'll probably come with a Grogu with a unique
someone
expression.
you could just magnetize.
You know, yeah.
Will, you can put a Pennywise in there too.
that Leia would do that. You convinced me to do it. Leia would be like, you could do so much with it, bro. And I'm like,
you could. You definitely would.
Yeah.
My question to you though, I'm gonna punch you in your face if you tell me you didn't know, but
what?
You canceled that Tumblr, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But
I figured you did.
But Leo, I'm still gonna get it, bro. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity because I was talking to them earlier before you got here about aquariums, and I found some nice glass displays for one. But I'm gonna wait until I can use all my points and get it on a discount. But I am getting the Tumblr. I'm getting it.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Carlos canceled his too, bro. You gotta hate him too. Hate him equally. But
I didn't know he was getting one. I knew you were getting one. So
I still am.
Why are you dry snitching, bro?
Yeah, because you're here, so why not? So, but guys, I want to address one more topic, and then we're going to get to the giveaway. I know everyone's excited for that, so we're going to do one more topic because I know not everyone's going to be excited about this as I am, but I want to talk about.
This is the final topic?
The final topic before the giveaway, yes. And maybe we'll have one more after the giveaway if we have time, but we'll see. But I want to address this.
No, I really am, because I was going to bring it up, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm glad somebody did.
This supposedly is from Poptoys. I don't really know much about them. From what I did research, though, they make a lot of samurai figures, and supposedly they're really good. So I've heard they're really good. They make really good samurai figures, and this Scorpion is very much a samurai figure. He's from the MK movie, from the one that came out in 2021. So he's unlicensed. He was $238. I pre-ordered him from 1/6 kit. You can get him other places too now, I think, but $238 ship. For a third party, that's a little high, but nothing crazy. So I want to see if you guys think there's demand for the MK line. So I'm going to start with you, Anthony, on this one. Do you think with the film MK line, is there demand for this figure? Do you think people are going to go for this?
Well, yes and no. I've already known a few people already hit me up. They're like, dude, because I posted it in my group, because I was like, wow, this is really cool. I usually don't post a lot of third party stuff. And then a bunch of people in my group were like, whoa, dude, okay, I bought it. You know what I mean? So there's definitely a demand, but I don't know how high the demand is. The thing is it's Mortal Kombat. You're not really taking away from the movie, even though Scorpion never really dressed like this in the earlier games. But
yeah,
these guys, like you mentioned, they're good at making samurai stuff, and this thing looks badass. So if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, you know that Scorpion anyway. You're like, oh, that's dope. So
Yeah.
there are people picking it up. I would like them to do at least a Sub-Zero. You
Yeah.
know,
They
you
got to do a
have-
Sub-Zero too. Yeah.
You got to have at least Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Because it's hard. They didn't have every figure in that movie, right? Every character was not in the movie, so they're limited if they're basing it off the the 2021 Mortal Kombat reboot. So, but this is a great looking figure. I'm getting him. I'm totally because I've been a fan since I was a kid. Not even the movie. It's just it looks dope. It's samurai. It's got that feudal Japan look to it, and I know that that's Scorpion. I don't care much for the sculpt. It's okay. It looks pretty decent, but that's how he's got to have the mask on.
Right.
You got to futz with the hood, get that chain going. I mean, it's cool, man. It's but again, it depends on the people. Like, let me give you an example. Like 4 months ago, and Carlos knows this. Storm Collectibles starts doing their 6-scale Mortal Kombats, but the joints are crazy, are all over the place. I made a video on it on my channel because I was like, you know what? It's Mortal Kombat. That's again back to your previous topic, like what matters more, character or you know what I mean. So I was like, oh, it's Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat. A lot of memories growing up. So I made a video on it, and like to this day, like in fact today, I got a comment on that video. Like somebody looked it up. Like so, there's people out there that are like, oh yeah, Mortal Kombat's badass. So, being a little unheard of in because being a third party, right? It's not a hot toy or anything like that. But people who become aware of this. Are excited for it. If you're not interested, you're not interested. That's just how it goes. But I think it looks great, man. Personally, I can't wait to see like in person. I actually saw him for 178, so I think somewhere between 180 to 220. Is not bad. I mean, it reminds me of the Ghost of Tsushima style.
Yeah, it does.
The figure. So and that's widely popular. And remember, it may not be widely popular here in the States, but overseas and in Asian markets, I think this would sell a lot more too. There's a demand, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so too. So I guess we'll find out. But I'm gonna jump to Carlos on this one. Carlos, I know you're shaking your head no, bro. What do you think about this MK line?
I mean, it looks cool, but I don't, man. Aside from you, Anthony, and the one dude who might other care, I don't know if a lot of people would care about this, man. Like,
Gotcha.
I feel like. Dina will sell better than this. You know what I mean?
Dina.
Well, I mean, you could just look through the chat right now too, man.
I mean, everyone says they love it because it looks great, but it's one thing to, hey, this looks great and it's going to cost me $220, or do I want to save this money, not buy into the hype, and get other things that I may actually care about? You know what I mean? Like,
but you may not be able to get this though later. You know what I mean? Because with third party, it's kind of tricky sometimes.
Yeah, but that's my thing, right? Are you buying it? Because if you're buying it for the character, then get it. Hey, if you love Dina, if you love this, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you're just buying it because it looks cool, then, and that's the thing, right? I'm not going to have FOMO because you can, for the most part, dude, every figure, you can always get it and you can always come back. If you budget enough, you can, and third parties don't really go up so much anyway. Final Fantasy is probably the exception, but I don't think Mortal Kombat did so well that, it's not like Final Fantasy. So I don't see this like skyrocketing. Hey, if you love this, that's great. Get it. But I don't see this going to be like a huge market for it. I mean, if you're into Marvel and Star Wars, it's already getting pretty crazy. So for someone who just may like it but doesn't love Mortal Kombat like you two, then I don't see a lot of people just getting this, man. I mean, I personally wouldn't. I can admire it. It looks cool, but that's probably as far as I go, for getting this. So.
Yeah, totally understand. So, Leia, what about you, bro? I know the movie. I think if I remember correctly, the movie you weren't crazy about either. But
no.
What do you think about this?
Good.
You think there's demand for this figure and for this line? Maybe
It might be. There definitely might be. For me, it's not. The reason why I say that is because I stick more towards the OT original suit. I mean, that's just basically where I'm at. That's what attracted me to it in general. The movie. I mean, the movie version was dope. But I'm not buying because of that movie. I'm buying because of the IP. I want the actual figures that I'm familiar with. You know what I mean? This looks great, and I'm pretty sure it's a space for everyone who likes this particular version. But it's just not in my wheelhouse to get. It's not something that I would want to actually get. It's not something that I gravitate to. I mean, I do know that there's. See, the thing is, it may not be a market for people with this particular version as far as for this version of Scorpion, but there's there's a market for people who love samurais. You know what I mean? So because of that, that's where I think people will pick this piece up. But it's just not something I'm going to actually pick up specifically because, again, you know, I OT original, they just this basically the original trilogy, the original figures that we got, you know, Sub-Zero, the original Scorpio, the original Shang Tsung, the original Kung Lao, you know, those particular figures are the ones that I'm actually, you know, more involved with. I don't this because the movie, it was good. I mean, the movie aesthetically looked great. Storyline was garbage. I didn't like what they did with it. So yeah, nah, this is definitely a pass from me. But I'm happy for everybody else that's going to get it.
Yeah, dude, great thoughts from all you guys. Seriously, and Optical, round out the discussion here. What do you think, bro? The MK line, is there any demand for this?
So this falls into your question earlier between character and figure.
Right.
I think as a figure, it looks great. I actually like the character. I don't mind the movie. Here's one thing that's gonna work out bad for this figure is the price. This is $220 or let's say $200.
It was like I paid $238 shipped. Yeah,
I bought Punisher War Machine for $220, and that's Hot
Right.
Toys. We're living in a different world right now. This is more expensive than most Hot Toys if you know where to look. So if you're not a hardcore Scorpion fan, what would you do with your 220? Get this or a figure that's Hot Toys? So I think that's where if you don't love the character that much, and this is a good looking figure, there's a better figure than this for cheaper. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think that's one thing that's gonna. Is there a demand for this? There's always a demand for something. I mean, there was a Winnie the Pooh Hot Toys, so that was so random.
And Piglet.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a figure. This looks fantastic, in my opinion. I mean, at first it kind of scared me. I was like, is this single jointed? But this looks like double jointed arms. You're not gonna get ab crunch, of course, because of the like the armor. But regardless, it's still a good looking figure. It's just that whenever you are selling something, you want to sell it to the casuals as well, not just the hardcore fans. That's how you make money. The problem, the one thing that they are competing now is the low price of everything Hot Toys related. So if you have 220, you're in a dilemma here. Would you get this or a one pack boba for $127?
That's true. That's true.
So, you know, I would just say for me, because we're all different, right? It depends. Like, yeah, I don't think the average masses are gonna be running in droves to pick this up. But like as Will knows, like I had Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile, the third scale statues. They're huge. I sold them because I just don't have room for them. But you see, I went out of my way to buy third scale Mortal Kombat statues. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I was like, oh, cool. I can get a 6 scale like this, represent my Scorpion that way. Dope. Right, but the average person, so I'm not, and I always say this too on my channel, man, even if you think it looks cool, like what we were talking about, don't buy it because I like it, don't buy it because you guys like, you know what I mean? You have to like it, you know what I'm saying? So to that point, yeah, there's a market for everything.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Absolutely. So guys, with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump to the section of the show that I think a lot of people are really excited about.
Alrighty.
The Hot Toys Arena Boba Fett giveaway. So, Carlos, before we jump into this, I know you want to say your piece, right?
Yeah, but I thought you were gonna do something, and then
Yeah.
Do you want me to go ahead and do that? Okay.
yeah. Do that.
All right, guys. So, what we're going to say is this. Optical, put the gloves on. Yep, we got the gloves on. We went through a disclaimer out. We wanted to make this as fair as possible. You know, we wanted to make it as equitable, you know, and as transparent as possible. So you're going to see exactly how we run this. We're going to spin a wheel basically with the 10 best comments from the from Lael's video that occurred on Wednesday, the live stream. And then we're going to give out the winner. Like I said, we're not going to, run it like multiple times. We're just going to spin the wheel one time. So with that said,
Everyone has a chance to win.
Everyone has a chance to win. It's fair, equitable. We took the best 10 comments about why Marvel is better than Star Wars. So with that said, let's go ahead and pull up the wheel because, like I said, we're going to do this live for everyone to see. So like I said, we put the names in there that we felt were most deserving of this giveaway. So let's go ahead and run it. You can see here, we actually lowered it to 5 names.
Oh,
Let's spin this bitch. Let's see who wins. It's Optical, Will, Carlos. Oh my
Carlos
God, Carlos
won!
won his own figure. Holy shit.
Congratulations.
Carlos, so proud of you, bro.
Man, I appreciate it.
Guys,
I get
no,
to keep-
we're just joking. We're not going to really do that to you guys. But that was Optical's idea, and it was brilliant, by the way. So thank you, Optical, for that one. It says good luck to everyone. Everyone's like, good luck, it's happening. Oh my God. Okay, guys. So Carlos, let's share your piece before we show like the real wheel and do it that way.
Yeah. So first, I wanted to say, thank you everyone for participating, Layout and Will for for this giveaway. It was great. We actually had a ton of people who participated, and it was pretty great. Originally I thought we were gonna get a ton of people who were just gonna start making fun of Star Wars, as a way of getting into the comments. But I started noticing that some of these comments, were talking about history and character arcs and writing. So it really made me believe that I think a lot of people really actually care or actually believe that Marvel is better than Star Wars. So I actually took the liberty of changing the giveaway. So since everyone loves Marvel so much, I figured instead everyone can get an Endgame.
Get that out of here, bro.
Everyone loves Marvel so much. Why Boba Fett? You guys are gonna get.
Hold on, let me solo you.
This is what you guys are gonna get. A fucking Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Dude, I thought we were gonna do that when you pick the winner.
No, before.
I'm glad that you guys didn't tell me you were going to do that beforehand.
Since you hate Star Wars anyway, you love Marvel. There you go.
You love Marvel. It's
Oh,
brand
God.
new. It's sealed. Like, what else
Bro.
do you want?
You should have like a Chitauri or something.
But did they hate Star Wars anyway? So they would.
Yeah. I mean, everybody.
We're
talks
losing
about
viewers.
Star Wars.
People are
That's
giving
funny.
up.
You
Dude,
should
that's
put that
all.
at the
Carlos, do you
end.
have anything like actually accurate to say before we introduce this wheel?
No, I just wanted to troll everyone.
Oh, okay. Because you didn't tell me you were going to do that. That was fucking awesome. So, guys, some amazing jokes. We're actually going to spin the wheel, though. Carlos really picked the 10 best comments, the most thoughtful, considerate comments, that we had there about what the question was. So we took those, put them into a random wheel spinner like we just spun. So let me share that one. So you can see here, these are the 10 commenters that were chosen. Carlos picked them, and then we peer reviewed them. Lael and I both. I think Lael did, right? You looked at them?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, I did. I did. I looked at them, and I was like, Carlos had me pick my best 10 too, so we kind of matched them up.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good comments, Lael. Seriously,
Yeah,
bro.
they
Like
were.
your video
They
had a lot of. It was tough. There was a lot of really good ones.
Yeah.
But these were the 10. Let me remove the banner so we can actually see a little bit better.
Is it just one spin, or are we doing multiple spins?
One spin.
Okay.
So we're going for all the marbles on one spin. So guys, whoever wins this spin is going to win a free Arena Hot Toys Boba Fett from Carlos, courtesy of Carlos. Carlos, you want them to message you on Instagram, right?
Yeah, or Facebook. I'm gonna get it next week though, so just be patient when I ship it out. But yes,
Okay.
message me.
Yeah, because it's
either
coming in next week, and then Carlos will ship it out to the winner. But you have to message Carlos. And remember the rules. You have to be here. So if you win, you got to comment to let us know before the show ends. That's the rules, right, Carlos, as far as I'm aware?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can just give them like a minute to respond because there's
30 seconds, so we're spinning.
Yeah.
You get a Captain Marvel if you don't answer.
Yeah, just give them a little bit, and then if not, we'll just go to the next one.
What'd you say, Optical?
You got to contact Carlos in his MySpace.
MySpace, yeah, exactly. His is Zanga. Yeah, people remember that. All right, guys, ready to do this? We're going to spin this?
Let's
Yeah.
go.
All right, let's
do
spin
it.
it. Let's do it. Oh, Blurred Dad Life with the win. Oh, my God.
Blurred Dad Life.
And he is here.
If
Oh,
you're here,
it's right
let's see.
here.
All right, give him
Oh,
a
he said
He's
either
one.
one he's going to be grateful. So
We got Blurred Dad Life.
Is he in the chat?
Congrats.
I see
Yeah,
him.
he's in the
There
chat.
it
He's
is.
out there. So Blurred Dad Life is out there. in
Either
the
one
chat.
I would be
There you
grateful
go.
for if I won. Blurred Dad Life. Holy shit.
Blurred Dad Life. You
Oh, my
won.
God.
You should at least put up his comment so that way people can actually.
I got it right here. Blurred Dad Life.
Oh, you have it? No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I mean here's what he actually commented. At least.
Oh, yeah.
that's
Yeah, I can pull that up. Give me one sec to,
So people can see the
maybe you guys will chat while I do that. But give me one sec. Because Blurred Dad Life, you are the winner. Like I said, message Carlos on Instagram. And yeah, you'll get a free Arena Boba Fett.
He said OMG. I see him.
Oh,
out
where's
there.
he? Oh, there he is.
He's-
OMG.
yeah, he's in-
Yeah.
oh my God, oh my
Blurred Dad
God.
Life
Yeah.
is the
Congrats,
winner.
bro.
There you go, brother.
Yeah. So I know it was funny, but like if Riley won, I would have been like, Riley, come on, bro. Come on. Don't comment so well. Don't comment so well. Yeah, but I'll bring up Blur Dad Life's comment. But guys, thank you so much to Carlos for the giveaway there. That was like really generous of you, Carlos. So Carlos, what was the reason? Just maybe to have people talk about Marvel or Star Wars? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, so I kind of went for 3. It was like fun, right? Whoever was being, had some funny about it was being funny. Someone was being clever, and then someone who actually went into detail as far as like an explanation. So I kind of try to pick one of each one for the most parts, and then a wild card, and then you guys can, you reviewed it because Layout didn't want to, but
exactly.
I'm gonna have to bring up the zoom in a bit, but
yeah, go for it.
But Blurred Dad Life is right here. You can see the MCU is better than Star Wars due to its treasure trove of source material. The MCU can pull from 80 years of history and characters. The MCU also plans its stories to have a cohesive thread and is often 2 to 3 steps ahead of its audience. The MCU has captivated and landed so many thrills in 15 years, more than Star Wars has in 40. MCU has consulted with comic writers. So yeah, I have to like zoom out to get more of the context, but you guys get the idea. Amazing comment there from Blurred Dad Life. There were so many good comments. What we did is we just took the top 10 and put them in a random wheel spinner.
So Blurred Dad Life won, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, he's banned from my channel for the rest. I'm just letting you know, you won, and that comment that you put up just now got you banned from them. I'm just playing, man.
He's excited already.
Bro.
Wow, that's incredible.
Congrats, man. Congrats. Bro.
Enjoy your ban and your Captain Marvel.
Nah, man. Congrats, bro. Definitely congrats on the win, man.
Yeah. Congrats.
And it tells me that you do secretly love Star Wars because you got that piece coming. You were excited
exactly,
about it,
bro. Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I read between the lines. It's a silver lining. I read it. Saw it. I got you.
See? There we go. There we go. So, yeah, guys, we're going to go around the panel real quick. Anthony, bro, what's coming up on your channel, man?
Oh, well, hey, man. Well, thanks for inviting me as always, first of all. My streams Saturday nights, mornings. I haven't really been doing a lot of reviews because, well, Sideshow kind of killed that. So, I kind of slowed down on that and, doing my photos. I just got my new camera coming next week. So I'm going to be cranking out some more photos and stuff on the Instagram. And that's about it, man. Almost 2K. So we're almost to 2K subs. So that's cool. Probably do a giveaway. Not sure what, but some kind of hot toy. No, probably Star Wars because I've been selling some figures, so maybe I'll just I just don't know yet, or maybe when something newish comes out when we get there, we'll probably do a giveaway, man. That'll be pretty fun. That's really about it, man. That's really about it for right now.
Nice. Well, thanks for joining, bro. I'm glad we were able to connect.
Man,
and,
always. When I can make it, man. You know what I mean? Like every time, like
I know, bro. I know. Likewise, bro. But Optical, man. Thanks for joining, bro. And like you raised a really good question. Name a place Carlos isn't banned. That's a really tough one. So that's probably the toughest question that's ever been asked on any of these shows.
I mean, hell, he's been banned on my channel.
Exactly. Yeah, he has.
A few times.
Optical, thanks for joining, bro. You have anything coming up?
Yeah, I mean, Mark V, Punisher War Machine. I got, you guys know, I kind of went crazy this past week.
Did you?
Yeah. So I'm going to have some reviews coming up in the next 70 days.
70.
We picked that shipping that would come in next year. But yeah, Carlos know it. Yeah, so Mark V got Mark V. That's an awesome figure. So that's coming up next. And also to Blur Dad, the figure is free, but Carlos is asking for shipping and handling fees. So that will be around $250. So,
The Toys Wonderland shipping and handling prices.
Yeah, it's coming from Hong Kong directly.
Will, put up that Bob Dylan comment real quick.
Which one was it?
The last one.
Oh my God, Carlos was banned over 9 times in one stream.
On my stream.
Was he?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, yes.
Yeah. Well, he probably deserved it, all 9 of them. So I guess you have 9 lives like cats. So.
At least 8 of them he did.
Yeah, that's probably right. Leal, dude, thanks so much for joining, bro. I know you got a new ban on your channel, but what's coming up on the 160 Man channel?
Oh man, tomorrow definitely. Thanks for having me as always, man. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have comic book talk with friends where we're gonna actually break down the last episode of Miss Marvel, which I thought was an amazing episode. I thought all in all the show was amazing. I love the season of it, and there's nowhere else can go but up. I can't wait to see the Marvels with her character in it because I quite enjoyed it. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night. So tune in 9:15 tomorrow. What else? Yeah, we got Say What, of course, on Wednesday. And then on Friday, of course, it is Figure Flex Friday. So stay tuned for that. I just finished my Anakin video. So I actually have that up. Should be up by tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that. What else got going? I'm going to be unboxing the Storm soon. I still have a plethora of figures over there that I got to actually do. We have that Tumbler coming in on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. Don't know when that's going to be unboxed. It'll be unboxed when I find a space to put it. There's a space I got to put it, but I got to get everything right in the module case to kind of get that done the right way. So normally I'm not going to really display it until I get that in Arch Joker in, so I can display it the way I want. So that's going to be an incredible piece to have. But other than that, man, yeah, I mean, that's it. You know, getting these videos out, cranking this stuff out. We're gonna have we're gonna also put up a brand new Figure Flex Friday YouTube page, where I'm not YouTube page, a Facebook page, where people can basically submit their photos, because right now the algorithm on Instagram, when it comes to hashtags, it's not working. Like they disappear after a while. They changed a couple of things, so it's kind of hard to display those figures. So there's going to be a page dedicated to that on Facebook that you can submit your videos. So it makes it easier for us to showcase this. Remember, once we do it, you have to basically also put your Instagram username, so we can be able to, just kind of showcase and let people know who submitted these photos. So yeah, but other than that, man, yeah, thanks for having me here, man. And I'm never doing a fucking giveaway like this again when it comes to Star Wars. So I just want to let y'all know.
Well, good to know, bro, because Carlos gave away a Captain Marvel. So,
Yeah, right.
But thanks so much for joining, Leo, as always, bro. Appreciate you. And Carlos, man, anything you want to plug before we end?
No, man, that was great. I've been on your streams a lot, so I feel like I need to cut it back for a little bit now, But,
yeah, we're not friends anymore.
Not. No, man, thank you for having me, for you and Leo for letting me do the giveaway. It was a lot of fun. And now I don't know what I'm going to do with this Captain Marvel, but, I'm probably going to give it away, see what I do. But
you should do a giveaway. We'll probably get like 2 comments for it.
like Marvel is better than Star Wars.
Yeah, right. Dude, but thanks so much for joining, Carlos. Appreciate it, man. And amazing diecast painting collection, as always, and the knives.
Of course.
Yeah, as always, bro. So, guys, thanks so much to everyone who participated in the giveaway and also who joined tonight and participated in the chat. Always appreciate you guys for engaging and just having a good time every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for Collectors Mingle. And then we have, of course, Lights, Camera, Collect every Friday. That'll be back 5:30 p.m. Eastern this coming Friday. I think Carlos is still going to be on there with me because we had to reschedule the last one. So that'll be his last time on the channel and then the end of our friendship. So, and then there, we'll see where things go. Yeah, he'll be banned. Exactly. Optical. So, there's a high likelihood he'll be banned. But guys, all I can say is, again, thank you so much for the support. And then, Blurred Dad Life, congrats on the win.
Congrats, my man.
Yes, congratulations.
Congrats. Message Carlos on Instagram. Yeah. And peace. Bye.